Welcome all you guys, this is the first webinar for Social System Elite, and today we're going to go over the Facebook posting and bumping software as well as the Facebook niche group builder as well. We're going to go ahead and get started with the first software, which is to allow you to make posts to groups that you've exported and created niche group files for. And the first thing you're going to want to do when you first get the software is install it, and by double clicking the executable software it's going to install the support files. It can take a little bit of time depending on your connection, and then wait for it to pop up and everything should be good to go for you to be able to use the software. To make posts we first have to export the groups. So insert your phone or email and password, how you log into Facebook. Save settings that you can recall it later. If you want to change accounts or you've got multiple accounts, just insert the account information here and it will use that to log in. Click on Export Groups. This is going to generate a CSV file for you. For instance, I'll give you an idea what it would look like, and this is opened up in Notepad, and you've got your group name, comma, and then the group URL. And this is a list of all the groups that you would have already joined on Facebook. Once you've got that list, you can copy those out to a new file, and you want to copy the entire line and paste it over into your new file that you're saving to. This is creating the file in which you're going to use for posting. For instance, I've got a file here that's labeled Make Money Online. And this here is the number of groups that I belong to that are Make Money Online groups. I'll show you later in the Facebook Niche Creator how you can simplify that process. So in case you've got hundreds of groups that you belong to, you can save a lot of time with the Facebook Niche Group Builder. So assuming that you've created a list of groups to post to already, we'll go ahead and select a list of groups. And select your message. Now in this message I'm using spin text, and it looks like this here, open curly bracket, and there's a line pipe in between each word or phrase that I want to randomize in that section of my message. So I'm going to go ahead and just take my message here, just paste it in. I'm going to give this a project name. And batch quantity. This is the number of groups it's going to post to before it delays in hours before running the next batch. So say for instance you've got 100 groups and you only want to post in batches of 20, and then you want to wait 6 hours before it posts another 20. And it'll continue to do so, posting 20 more until it runs through all the groups that it needs to post to. We want to set our min wait and max wait, and this is the wait time in seconds between each post. So it's going to post and then randomly wait between these two numbers in seconds before it goes and posts the next group. Once you've got this information in here, you're ready to run your posting. Just simply click Start. It's going to open up a Chrome window. Logs us in. It's going to verify that it's logged us in before it goes ahead and starts running through the groups. Now it does this all with humanized interaction to the website, so it looks 100% like you're actually doing this. It'll hover areas, mouse over areas, click into it, and it's sending keystrokes for the typing. So as we see here, it's hovered in, types in our message, and hits post. It's going to do this and go to each one of the groups in your list and continue posting. This group here in my list actually isn't available, so it goes ahead and skips it. Now it's in the next one. Again, it's going to type our post and hit submit. I'm going to go ahead and stop this. And the reason being is because now I want to show you the bump settings. Now for the bump settings, we simply select from the drop down bump posts. And if we were looking to leave a reply, we type what our reply message is here and go ahead and leave it. If you're bumping, you can put anything you want here. It could be hey, a period, anything at all. Just something has to be typed in. Next, what we're going to do is go to Pro Bump Settings. And if we want to automatically delete our comment so it doesn't look spammy like we're constantly just bumping it, if we're not actually leaving a full comment for people to read, we're going to go ahead and check to auto delete the bumps. So we're going to go ahead and load a project. It's going to pop up a little window. And I'll load a previous project, JV Groups right here, that I use to promote this very software. So I'll load that in. And the post placement threshold, what that is, for instance, we just posted into this group, so we're in the first placement. If it drops out of, say, position 3, and it's lower on the page, we want to bump it. The amount of time since your post that has to pass before bumping. So it's going to first look at the amount of time that's passed for when your post was made. Then it's going to check the placement. So I'll go ahead and leave it at 0.05, which is actually 3 minutes, and I'll set this to 0 so that no matter where our placement is, it's going to bump anyways. Click X. Same things apply for batch settings and the min and max wait time in seconds between each bump. Go ahead and click Start. Now if you're already logged in, it's just going to navigate to the page. And here it finds my post. And you'll see what it does is it comments the word, waits, comes back, and will delete that comment from the post. What that does is it bumps us up in the activity feed on the Facebook group that it was posted to. So as we see here, it just keeps chugging along, bringing up our previous posts and bumping it accordingly. When it's all done, it will alert you that it's finished, and the status will also go back to idle down here at the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and click Stop on the bumping. So I want to show you the manager settings now as well. Underneath the manager here, you've got import project, and then you click on import post, or you can export. I'll first do an export. So I click on this, it tells me choose a save to file location. So I'll say here, export project. And it's already going to save as a .csv, so we hit save. Now it's going to ask us for the project name. For instance, I'll choose this one right here, JV Groups and Facebook Software. Tells me it's been exported. Now if I bring up that project, it tells me all of the posts from that project that have been posted. In order to import posts, what we need to have is, I'll just take a couple out of here. We set a project name such as test2, and let me just grab a file here. A text document, and it's going to be group name, comma, and it's going to be the post URL. So group name, comma, URL. Then your next group name and the post URL for that one. Once you've got those, just save. Click on import post. It reminds you that it's group name, comma, post URL to import them, one per line. So we click OK and select our document. It tells me 2 now have been imported. Over here underneath the ProBump settings as well, you can delete projects. So when we click on delete a project, it asks me if I want to delete this one here, and that's because that's what's already chosen. So we say no. What I'm looking to delete is test2. There we go. Now it tells us it's been deleted. So if we go to load a project, test2 is no longer in our list. You can also switch the theme to a lighter colored theme just by clicking switch theme, which is going to tell you to go ahead and restart the program. Put a second here for the software to start back up. And there we go. Here's a lighter colored theme for those of you that have trouble seeing it on the darker theme. We also have this light theme as well included to the software. Obviously as well here at the top you can use a proxy if you know what proxies are or want to use a proxy. You can insert the IP:/, port here and it will use it when it logs in. It does use a completely brand new Chrome browser with its own cache and cookies. So everything's 100% clean when it goes and logs in and starts doing whatever it is that you want it to do, whether it be posting or bumping posts. Another thing, currently you can attach an image right here as well when making posts. I also plan on incorporating so that you can upload videos as well. Now the other thing that I wanted to show you is the Facebook Niche Group Builder. Now previously I showed you how to create your own niche file of groups. So after you've exported and you've got all these groups available and you copy each line out one at a time to a new file to create your niche groups. This software is going to save you a lot of time and headache. So for instance, I'll choose that exported group list and I'll choose a new save to path and I'll call this one make money on line 2. Now I'm going to put in some keywords: money, home, work from. We'll just use those keywords. Simply click start and it tells me very quickly that there's 21 of them found. So when I open up this file, it has all 21 of those groups that contain those keywords or phrases in either the group name or the URL itself. So it will check both the URL and group names for the keywords that we've chosen to use and search through our entire exported list and quickly create a niched group list file for us. Now we can take this exact file and use it over in the posting software. Now the cool part about this as well is you can also find and join groups. So for instance, I'll put my information in here real quick. And I'll choose a save to file. Ending in .csv. Put in some keywords here. Bitcoin and invest. So if I hit start, it's going to first log me in. So after it logs us in, it's going to go ahead and start the search process. We see here at the very top. Switch over to the Groups tab, and it will automatically rule out any groups that you've already joined as well. Now it's going to start looping down the page while it loads more groups into the list. And it tells you the current status at the bottom here. It's still searching for groups. So as we see, it keeps jumping to the bottom of the page. Now, while this can take a little bit of time, if you guys have got some questions between either software at the moment that I could answer, that'd be great. I see here Julian asked if we can post to fan pages as well, and currently no. This is all geared towards Facebook groups, which is where most traffic comes from shared posts. Because fan pages, the only ones that you can technically post into are your own. A lot of other pages block posting into it, whereas groups, if you've joined it, you can post in it. So that's why this software is geared just mainly towards Facebook groups at this time. Also, I do plan on incorporating over in the posting software that you can insert a link so that it pulls up a clickable image from the website, and then it removes it and puts in whatever your post text is. So this way you don't have to have a link sitting in your main post information. It'll automatically remove it for you as well. It's up to you, Bob, on how many posts it'll actually join. We'll get to that in a minute on the next tab of the software. You can run multiple instances. I've personally not tried it on my machine, but it should allow for it. Because it uses its own sessions. But if you do, I also recommend using a proxy as well. Also, separate accounts on instances, because put it this way, you can't be in two places at one time posting, and Facebook knows that. So if you're posting at the same time between two different ones, that's something that you're going to have to keep in mind. Went ahead and trimmed the gain up on the mic a little bit. Sound's cutting out likely because of my internet connection, but the playback should be fine because I'm currently recording it on this end in real time, so the playback might be a lot clearer for you guys as well. Yeah, I've got the recording going on the webinar software as well as recording locally. Just in case one fails, I've got a backup resource. All right, so we can go ahead and stop this for the searching. And I just kind of want to show you the list that it's generated so far. And this is all joinable groups for Bitcoin at the moment that it went ahead and found. So if we go over to the Join tab here, now we select that same list of groups that were found and the min-max wait time in between each join. So I'll say 2 and 4. And currently there's no batch settings here for joining groups, but it will be added in. So you can say, I want to join 20 groups and delay 6 hours before I join 20 more until the entire list has been ran through. That will be added into the software here in a future update, and I'm going to say it's going to be very soon that it'll be put in there. Just click Start. Since we're already logged in, it's going to quickly go by this. Otherwise, it would have logged us in there to do the joining. So now it goes to the first group, clicks on Join. Now, if it does have any questions that groups ask, it will automatically just skip those because there's no way to rightfully answer those questions automatically. However, if they do absolutely require the questions be asked, you'll get a little notification on your Facebook and simply just answer the questions. So as we see, this is going to just keep chugging along and joining groups for us. We go ahead and stop that. And this is the Facebook Niche Group Creator software, which also allows you to find and join groups. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up for anyone so that in case you have any questions, do go ahead and let me know. This way we can make sure we get everything covered. I would say recommended on bumping to be at least 24 hours, but I've got some people that are bumping every hour in some groups that are competitive with a lot of traffic, such as Bitcoin, investment groups, make money online. I have people bumping as quick as every, say, 10 minutes. So it's really basically what you want to do. Now, if you're leaving the comment, I would say every 24 hours or every 12 at very bare minimum. But when it comes to you deleting the comment, the IntelliBump feature of hiding the comment just to force the activity feed, you can set it to 3 minutes and just let her go. I'm also going to add a loop cycle so that it will continually keep bumping if you run the software, so that you can literally just let it keep running instead of right now where it'll run through, bump all of them and stop. It'll have a continuation function here pretty soon. You can't multiple post to multiple groups at one time, Bob. It's one project at a time. No, it's not going to be coming to be able to post to multiple projects at one time because it's a bit unreasonable, to be honest. Again, you can't be in 2 places at one time posting. Therefore, you can't be posting in multiple projects at one time. So if it's posting in 2, 3, 5, 10 different groups at one time, Facebook's going to ban your account real quick. And I'm looking out for everybody else's best interest. Currently, it doesn't support proxies that use username and password. I might add in for it later, but most companies will have IP locking ability. This way you can just run their proxies with IP auth instead of username and password. However, I will add it in there here in a future update for user and password on the proxies. Emmanuel, I'm just reading from the messages. I don't really need to answer back the question. I'm reading it literally as it comes in. Updates come automatically as soon as one's pushed. When you open up the software, it'll prompt you for update. And I put update notes inside the Facebook group of what's been updated. To date, before the software was even launched publicly, there were probably 15 or more updates, with a couple major updates released just in testing. So this is definitely a project that will get consistent updates and feature sets. That's not how it's set up to work, Bob, and that's not the way I'm going to set it up to work, because it also requires you inserting multiple messages for multiple groups with multiple group names. It's just not reasonable for the software to maintain that. I don't want it to be used as a spamming software, and that's more of a spamming type need. So it will be on a per project basis. There will be no multi-threading. There will be no running on multiple posts or multiple projects. It'll be on a per project basis, so everything looks legitimate to Facebook and safeguards you and your account. My ultimate goal on this end is freeing up y'all's time on making posts and promoting different things in various groups. However, at the same time, is also safeguarding you from going too much overboard with the posting and then end up getting your accounts banned or blocked. So we don't want to see that happen, and it's also why I've got recommended settings inside the members area on the website, is so that you can kind of follow that framework so that it helps safeguard your account even further. I've got that listed inside the members area, Bob. You can go ahead and take a look inside there and find all those settings inside the members area. I've had it set around 20 or 25 posts when doing my batches, and that's just to safeguard things. I've got some people running it higher, I've got some people running it lower. It also depends how active you are on your account as well, because it's taken into consideration from Facebook how active you are, how often you post, what's your posting history like, and interacting with different groups and things like that on Facebook. So you're more or less training Facebook to allow you to be able to post more. However, at certain thresholds, you'll start finding that it'll pop up a CAPTCHA if you're posting too often. That's a red flag to tell you slow down or stop for 24 to 48 hours, because they are finding that you're doing something you shouldn't be doing, or as often as you're doing it. Another thing they'll do is, if you're not using spin text as I showed in the software, it's going to pop up eventually that it's seen as spam. So you definitely want to be using spin text when you're posting to numerous groups. Also, you'll find inside the Facebook group as well, let me just pull this over here, that there are files shared in the paid group. And these files contain numerous groups in the JV work at home type groups, as well as about 3,000 groups in this CSV here that you can sift through with the Facebook niche file creator by keywords and just yank out the groups that you're wanting to join even. So those are there for your benefit and to make use of as well. Inside of the members area, I'll pull that up here real quick. Let me just get logged into the site here. Facebook allows link shorteners. You can use shortened links in your post. That's not a problem. Duly know they do travel through them in order to grab the image of the page and things like that. So it's not 100% foolproof just by using a shortened URL. Because they do travel the short URL to the ending point, so that they can pull information, such as the meta tags used by Facebook. Yeah, it's going to take a few days at 25 per batch for you, Bob, with 300 groups to post to. But you can go ahead and jack it up to 300 groups and just let her rip. And you can let me know if it banned your account or not. Otherwise, you can take the recommended settings that I've given for you and safeguard your account from possibly getting banned for posting too often, too quickly. I do not recommend posting to 300 groups right off the bat and just letting her rip. You will get some sort of slap from Facebook. And there's no guarantee if they're going to let your account back. So keep that in mind. Obviously, you guys can play with the numbers and settings. Do what you feels right with your accounts. However, I have to stand behind the recommended settings that I've got there for you, just as safeguards. Yeah, in bumping, you can go ahead and just let her rip if you're deleting the comments. Just let it run through and keep commenting them, because it's going to be deleting them as well, which I believe does not go against the post counts in Facebook's tracking when you delete them. So you can go ahead and play around with that with higher numbers for the batches on bumping. So let's see here. Let me get into the members area here for you guys. Let me bring this up. So inside the members area here, we've got the Facebook private group for all the paid members. And then we've got the installation and licensing video, how to use the software, and then the suggested settings. These are the suggested settings that I've mentioned in this webinar. And I do have to repeat that this is not a spamming tool. It's for targeted postings. So I don't recommend loading 5,000 groups and posting it out. Facebook will quickly ban your account for sure. I do go over everything here for the posting, and the training area for the Facebook niche group creator will be up here pretty soon. Yeah, it starts not to like you after a while with copy and pasting, just because it sees it all as spam posts. So yeah, I mean, I've seen it come up as early as 30 posts and as late as 50 posts where they start not liking it. One project at a time, Julian. That's what you can run at one time with the software. As mentioned earlier, it can't be in two places at one time posting. That's what gets your account flagged, and why I don't have multi-threading available in there, or running multiple projects at one time and things like that from the same account and same IP, is because it will end up flagged from posting too often, especially in microseconds to each other in numerous groups. It just tells them that you're automating their service. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get this wrapped up. If you guys have got some last minute questions you'd like to get answered, just let me know and I'll try and get those answered here for you. Also, I want to let you know that Social System Elite is kind of the main housing for numerous social software. So you can expect to see other social network software coming out here in coming weeks and months. It's going to be a platform that's going to serve for multiple social networks. And obviously I'll let everybody know when different things happen and things like that as well. Yeah, you can't post and bump at the same time. So once you've got the posts out there, you can jump over to the bump tab, set your settings, and start bumping posts. You can put any URLs, YouTube, your website, short URLs, whatever the case may be, into the message area, and it'll go ahead and list those into the messages when they're posted for you. Again, I plan on incorporating something that makes clickable links. So for instance, like YouTube, it would type in the YouTube URL, it'd pull up the preview video on the bottom and then remove it out of the main text if you want. And those are features that are coming to the software as well. That's correct, Bob, because you can't be bumping a post while you're making a post. It's all singleton. It's not going to overlap doing numerous functions at one time, so you can't bump while posting. Again, you can't be in two places at one time. That's the way to always think about it, is that the software is not going to be in two places at one time with anything that you're thinking about doing with the software. Just keep that in mind. It's going to do one thing at a time. No problem, Edwin. I hope that this webinar served its purpose and helped educate a little bit more on how to run the software, how to set things up, and how to use the different features and functions for what you're doing. Just go ahead, click stop on it, Bob, and then you can go ahead and restart from wherever you're wanting to go from. That's the good thing, is that you can stop, pause, or start the process at any given point with the buttons that are there in the software for you. No problem, Sue, and everyone else as well. I don't mind doing these videos because furthering education with the software is definitely something that I think is key to everyone's success in using the software and making it beneficial for their business or what they're doing online. Sounds good, Emmanuel. Yeah, I hope to have the replay up pretty soon after. I'm going to go ahead and check out the recording, see which one's best, and get that online for everybody. So it'll be available inside the group as well as the members area as soon as it's uploaded. All right, I'm going to end this off and look to talk to you guys more inside the Facebook group. Thanks for being here and listening to me ramble on. And hopefully you guys have grabbed some good information off this webinar. I'll look to do a good bit more later. Bye, everyone.